Today's episode of the Willpower Podcast comes to you from a live speaking engagement. We're here today, and we're going to shift gears dramatically because life is short. We already know this. Life is very short, and what we're going to be talking about today, in my hope, is that you're going to leave here today with some actionable items that are going to dramatically change how you operate. I don't take for granted the fact that you guys have taken time out of your day, out of your crazy week, out of your busy schedule for you guys to be here in this. And you picked this out of like 8 different things to choose from. So you gotta know, I'm ready to help. I'm ready to serve. Anything that I've learned, anything that I am committed to helping you guys. Because I have such a great appreciation for every type of person in this room in particular. Hey, Max. Good to see you. So, quick story. It was 2012. It was a week before Christmas. I am treating in my clinic. I'm a physical therapist by trade. I used to work in the boondocks, Florence, Arizona. If you know where that is, halfway between Tucson and Arizona and Phoenix. And I was treating this day, and it was a good day. The clinic was humming. People were uptone. Have you ever had that in your clinics? You know, right before the holidays. And I had some stressors, but I wasn't thinking about them today. I was thinking about how I was going to be going to Idaho next week to spend that whole week off in Christmas with my wife and my 4 sons. They were littler at the time. The one who's in Maryland getting treated hadn't gotten his head injury yet. But this was a great day, and my team was happy. No one was complaining. Everyone showed up. My wife used to say, "Hey, Will, was it a good day?" And I'd say, "Yeah, people all showed up. It was a great day. They actually came to work." Like it was one of those moments for me. And then my friend, John, who was my part-time CFO, he showed up in the doorway of the clinic and said, "I need to talk to you for a second." And he pulled me aside and he put me into this little office room that we had. And he goes, and you could just see something was wrong with him. He goes, "Will, I don't know how to break this to you, but we have $5,000 left in our accounts total. And we have $10,000 of bills that are past due. Which bills do you want to pay?" And that to me was such a shock. It was such a shock. I should have known, and really later, of course I should have known how that was supposed to go. I shouldn't have been surprised by this, but I was. And the rest of the day was just that numbing pain of what is going to happen now. You guys ever had that before? Right? Just like, what am I going to do? How is this going to work out for me? And I get in the car. It's dark at night. I drove in the dark. I was coming home in the dark. It's totally pitch black. I was driving through the reservation land that separates Florence, Arizona from Gilbert, where I lived. And there was this constant beeping sound. Beep, beep, beep. It's driving me crazy. And what it was the paper charts I still had to do that night that were in the passenger seat. There were so many that my car thought there was a human being sitting next to me in the car. And so I literally had to pull the car over in the desert and buckle my charts in. And so I pull in the door, I go through my front door, and I was done. I was done. In my mind, I'm like, how am I going to pay for Christmas? How am I going to actually pay for Christmas? I couldn't try harder than I was trying. I couldn't put more effort or energy into what I was doing than what I was already doing. And how am I going to pay for this? We hadn't bought our Christmas presents yet because we were flying to Idaho. We were going to buy them there. And now I'm trying to figure out how to pay bills. And so there was this moment of clarity as I was driving home. There's 2 moments I want to pay attention to very quickly, and then we're going to jump right in. The first moment of clarity was that this was the opposite reason why I became a rehabilitation entrepreneur. I wanted to increase my time, my impact, my income, to live a life that I thought would be worth the sacrifice, but this was the opposite. This was being a slave to my company. This was the worst thing I could have imagined. And again, I was working so hard on my time. So I walk in the door, my wife, perpetually positive. Like I got lucky on steroids. And if you saw a picture of her, you go, yeah, you got really lucky, Will. But she was just so like, "Hey, Will." Oh, she saw. She was conditioned to see the face and know when I was at that type of low. And immediately she goes, "I got everything tonight. You just go lay down." She didn't even know why. That's how common this was for me in 2012. So I get to this point where I walk in, and as I'm going to my room to lay down, my head is just, I'm numb from the pain, right? Just have you ever been in that state of just perpetual, like, I'm such a loser and all that crap that we tell ourselves. And then my son, Ethan, I have 4 boys. He's 12 at the time. He's like, he comes over and he like hugs me from the side and he goes, hey, Dad, I just got these new Skylander toys. Do you want to play with me? And I said, no, son, I'm so sorry. Dad's not feeling good. And this is the moment where my world shifted forever. And this is the moment I'm hoping that we can pull from together, because then it will make this moment worth it to me to have gone through it if it serves you. I'm walking away, and my son goes, Dad, I'm so sorry that you're feeling sick again. Again. That's how my kid experienced me, was this hyper burned out, overworked individual who had no way of knowing how to pull himself out of this hole that he had dug in his business. But something happened to me that night, guys. When I was laying there at night and I was like, okay, that's it. I'm done. I'm walking out of this business. Hi, Bill. Thank you for coming. I am out of this business. I am not putting up with this. I want to make a bigger impact in the world, and I'm going to do whatever it takes to get myself out of this, even if it means walking away from this business, because it's not worth it to be a parent who's that not present for their kid, that they're conditioned. The family is conditioned to the burnout. Oh. So I made some decisions. I got lots of coaching. And here's what's really funny is I'm a very passionate healthcare provider at heart. We're going to be talking today about time. We have a limited amount of time on this earth. And what we get to do with it is sacred. It is a sacred stewardship that we have of this limited experience in life. But what I want to tell you guys is that what we get to do as providers and owners and leaders in these rehab spaces is so uniquely special. It's a weird balance, because on the one hand, we have the lowest reimbursements, some of the most difficult business concepts and strategies that exist in all of business, by the way. That's coming from a coach of mine who's worked in every industry. But on the other hand, we can impact people's lives in such a powerful way. So pause the story right there. I want to show you a little bit about what we're doing today. Why you're here, I don't know. I hope the title got you in. But I will tell you what I'm hoping you leave with today. I am confident you'll leave with today, if you're with me, is a strategy of how you're immediately going to free yourself up, because you will leave with a personalized time liberation plan that you can implement immediately. So you don't have to do what I was doing, which was killing yourself and not getting the results that you need. I don't know if it was Bob in his presentation, but it's swimming in my head, this idea of getting greater impact by doing less. There's just something around it. So my goal today to give you real life help that pays for your ticket to TherapyCon. I'm hoping you'll leave here going, objectively, if I do this, I just paid for my ticket. So let's get to work. I want to tell you who I am, though. Who I am is what I believe, and this is what I believe, and this is why I stand here. It's why I own the businesses that I do, is that PT-OT SLP was born to lead the $600 billion musculoskeletal industry. We don't. We were born to lead it, and we don't. That all problems we face as leaders are solved when we focus on our problems and solving them. Who, not how. We get so wrapped up in the weeds of how to solve our problems. Whatever problem that you have, something just came to mind for some of you, stop asking how to solve it. Start asking who that person is who should solve that problem. Write it down as things are coming to you. And this is a controversial one, but I believe it with all my heart. This is the best time in the history of our industry to be a PT-OT SLP leader. Bill, you're shaking your head yes. Why are you in agreement with that?
There's so many opportunities right now for us. I think our country is ripe to realize that we should be the gatekeepers for musculoskeletal care. And there's tremendous opportunity moving forward to really make a difference for society. We just have to understand how can we solve these problems that we're currently facing to get to that point. So it's not all doom and gloom. There is a bright side. It's what path we choose to take.
Thank you for that. As a side note, I just want to, did someone say something? Can we give him applause, please? But we should do a little bit more like, hell yeah, because that's why we're here, is at the end of the day, that impact that we make in that child's life, that adult's life, whoever it is that we're treating, that change is why we're here. But I think Bill's talking about something much bigger. And as a side note, some of my favorite leaders are in this room right now. I just want to thank those guys who are here supporting me. It means a lot to see your faces. That we are here to unite, because at the end of the day, leadership is the rising tide. It's the rising tide. And guess what the number one job of any leader is? Say it.
Great.
Build more leaders. Side note, bonus credit, the greatest leader in any room is the person who loves the most. A little sappy maybe, but it's true. Think about the person who's the best leader in your world. Who is that person? A parent, maybe someone who just cared about you, who saw your potential. Love looks like support, love looks like challenge, but it's always love at the end of the day. But at the end of the day, this is me. This is who I will always be, this really good-looking 17-year-old kid. Friday the 13th, 1993, went mountain climbing with my girlfriend to try to impress her. I went climbing without ropes. I fell 50 feet. I broke both arms, both legs. Yeah, I broke 21 bones in total. Open compound of my femur. The plantar surface of my right foot was laying on my gas truck. It was bad. I lay there for 5 hours. Never thought I'd ever, but this is the person, I know it sounds stupid, but like this is the guy I look up to. He is as nerdy as he feels, and I'm still that guy, 100%. And I will tell you that like that guy thought his life was over until he met his physical therapist. His physical therapist, Connie Clemens, stood him up for the first time, made him walk again, and put him on a path that led to that dreadful night when I was driving home and saw my kids and felt like I had nothing. I had nothing. Like I'd failed this guy. So this is a newspaper article of that. I started a few companies. Oh, I need to back up. I skipped a really big part of the story. So I ended up getting a lot of coaching and figuring out business. And I was told by a coach once, and this is true, you have no natural leadership ability, Will. And I went, yes. He goes, but you're trainable and you're coachable. And I just want to acknowledge the fact that you are all here because you're trainable and you're coachable, and that's all you need. So any head trash you have around being a leader, let it go. You're in a room of equals. No one here is better than the other person. We need each other. Rising tide, leadership. And so I started figuring out how to do businesses, and I started a few. There's Doctors of PT Business right there, the Empower brand, right? So what I do now is virtual rockstar, and I'm not here to promote my company. I will talk a little bit of assistance later from a different perspective, but I am really excited to let you know that I've learned this magical, powerful concept called exchange that we're going to talk about today when it comes to your time. I need you to understand something very important before we get going, though, is that your time is so much more valuable than you're allowing it to be. I think there's things that you guys are doing, some of you at least, that you're thinking, yeah, I'm doing these things, but I have to. What else? What other choice do I have? Life is just like that. What if it didn't have to be that way? What if you guys were able to cherry pick the most energy-producing activities in your culture, in your company, and only do those? What would life feel like for you? Would it feel better? Yeah, and guys, this isn't a mountain you climb once. It's a summitless mountain that we climb together. But there are stages, and when we get to that point on the higher stages where we're mostly living in our energy-giving activities, that we start to create more powerfully. Ironically, we create more space and time, and money is the byproduct. So when we talk about time, I want you to change how you perceive time. Time is not universally experienced the same. It changes from experience to experience, and you guys know what I'm talking about. Who here has a hobby that they're super passionate about? Raise your hand if there's a hobby that you're just like, man, I love doing blank. Yes, what do you love doing? You love making candy? What kind of candy do you make?
Marshmallows are one of my
I
favorites.
love marshmallows, like really big time. And so what's time like for you when you're making marshmallows?
It needs to whip for like 12 to 15 minutes, and I will just stand there with it the whole time.
You're not impatient, you're not frustrated, you're not irritated? What's it like for you? Like, what does it feel like for you when you're watching the marshmallows get prepped?
Just joyful, it's exciting.
Okay. Yeah, do you guys have things like that? What are those things? Write them down. Please, write them down. Manifest, start writing, start thinking. And the reason being is because there are things in your work that you love, there's things outside of work that you love, but either way, we only get the same number of hours of existence. How we experience those is unique based on what we do. So you're probably falling into one of these three categories. I rarely take time off and struggle taking care of myself due to limited time. I can take a vacation but come back to tons of issues in work. Or I can take a month off and my company can function without me. Bob, can you share what you shared with us in your last meeting, what you just came back from? She turned 25 for the second time. 3 weeks. And then how big of a mess did you come back to? No. Raise your hand if you're the team that stayed here working while his team was your lead. Yeah. They're wearing the same color shirt. And so what's ironic about this is that when we spend more time doing what we love, we actually support the people we love more. So we're going to get to the bottom of how we can identify those things. Let me ask you, what would you guys do if you had 15 extra hours a week? What would you do with it? Shoot. Okay, we've got 30 minutes, guys. Let's buckle up. I would love this to be kind of more participatory. What would you do if you had 15 hours a week free that you don't have right now? Because spend it with family. What would you do with your family? Creating memories. Playing Skylanders, like whatever that is for the kids, right? Love that.
More trips.
You like to travel?
Yeah.
Where would you want to go?
California, anywhere that I could drive.
Okay, love that. A couple more, please. This is your chance to manifest. What is it? What is it? Read and write, coming from someone who loves to read and an author. Bill?
Same thing, I would say reading, writing.
And developing.
Spending more time outdoors, for sure.
Yes, and someone who honestly has control of their time, helping change the industry. I know you.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. Max, you were going to say something?
I wasn't, but at least one round of golf.
Okay.
More time with my kids.
Love that. Sleep. Who here wants more sleep?
It's a good one.
I love that. You were going to say something?
Mental health and exercise.
Love that. Mental health, exercise. Real quick, raise your hand if you feel like you're not getting enough exercise because your schedule's too tight of time. Isn't that like an emotional thing? Right? Ooh. Okay, so I had a couple of hands come up. A couple more, yes?
Like service, give back to the community.
Service. Oh. Listen, leaders love is service. And we have to be leaders of ourselves first. We have to lead ourselves, this meat box that we have while we're on this journey on the planet. We've got to take advantage and take care of this, our families, but so many times because of how we operate. So with 15 extra hours a week, here's some stats that are going to make you really sad. Here's why time matters. But I want you to understand the why behind this so that we can quickly get to work. Number one, at 78 and a half, if you're 78 years old, you get 4,000 weeks of life. Per year, if you free up 2 hours a week, 2 hours a week, that produces 13 8-hour workdays a year. If you just free up 2 hours a week. It's almost 2 full work weeks a year that you free up. Think about what you do with 2 weeks of year that you a bonus. And so every 20 years, that's a whole year. So think about if that number isn't 2, but 4. You free up a year every 10 years. It starts to add up really quickly. And this is, of course, what you guys said. You want to aim those hours at relationships and things that matter most. So let's get to work on how we can figure this out. We're going to do a time leak audit. I need everyone out, pen, paper, computer, phone, whatever it is to take notes. We are going to work. If you want to rest and not participate, that's totally fine. Huge missed opportunity, though. Because I want you to leave here with specific ideas of what you're going to do to get off your plate to free you up so that you have more energy. First thing we're going to do, every practice owner and leader is bleeding, hemorrhaging time in one of 3 key areas. Repetitious tasks, things we do all the time. Some of these things are so small. I can't give this to somebody else. It just takes me a second. And I do it 4 times a day. Those things add up, start to suck our souls. 2, reactionary times, responding to interruptions. The studies they've done of energy draining from this type of time distraction is so clear that when we have to pivot mentally from a specific category of tasks to the other category of tasks, there is such a loss of energy and focus that we become significantly less effective. And then the third one is retention tasks. These are things that we retain that other people on your team could be doing. Quick, I'm going to ask this question, just write it down if it comes to mind. What are you currently doing right now that you know somebody else should be doing? I see. Oh, let's keep it participatory. Let's go, payroll. I love that one, by the way, my friend. And why do we not let those things go? We're going to talk about that in a second. But let's talk about it now. I brought it up. Let's talk about why we don't let those things go. Why are we holding on to these things that other people should be doing that are interruptive in our day or repetitious? Just throw out answers. Why are we holding on to them? Control and trust were the first 2, and I heard control 4 times, I think. It was like, control. Why control? What does control mean? What does that mean?
Just making sure that it's done well and right. Maybe there are mistakes when you trusted somebody to do it and it didn't go.
Raise your hand if you've ever delegated something to somebody else and you took it back because they couldn't do it the way that you would do it. Yeah, you're my people. Welcome to the loneliest place on earth. I was the president there for a long time. And it's so true, though. It's so true. So we're going to talk about how to overcome that today in 30 minutes. All right. I like a challenge. Activity. I want you guys to list 5 tasks from the last week that fit into these categories. We don't have time for 5. I was going to do 5 in each, but let's get this thing rocking. I want you to list 5 activities that you are taking on that fall into one of these activities. And then you're going to mark them red, yellow, and green. So red drains your soul. We don't have to put objective data. You know what I mean. Yellow is, it's okay. I don't like it. I don't hate it. Maybe that's why you're holding on to it, because it really isn't that hard. You want to make sure it gets done right, so you just keep doing it. And then green is like, oh, I love this thing. I doubt there'll be any greens, but I just want you to get used to this terminology of energy as you're identifying. I'm going to give you 60 seconds. Okay. Guys, let's just keep writing. If you're having inspiration, ignore me if you're having inspiration. Your inspiration matters more than anything I could say or anyone else, so keep following that track. But if you're done, please throw out a couple of things that you have written down. What are some things that you're taking on? Second we get it out there, we're getting it out to the universe. We're going to get rid of it. What's something you're doing that is a repetitious reaction or retention activity that you know isn't something you want to keep doing?
Co-signing notes.
Co-signing notes. Love that. What else?
Cleaning out my email.
Who said that? Cleaning out your email. That's nice. You know, most people don't know that's something they shouldn't be doing. Honestly, that's a really advanced. She gets an extra credit point. What else?
Checking other people's work to make sure they're doing it.
Yes.
Instead of making sure they understand how and giving them that freedom to fail or succeed in the end.
Yes. I love that one right there. How much time do we spend not micromanaging, but double checking things? And haven't we been burned enough there's a reason why? Yeah, I love that. Okay. Yes, Bill.
Well, another one is fixing issues or problems between two different employees or two different groups.
Oh.
Like you become this,
HR expert?
Yeah, this counselor, you're constantly fixing these silly little problems within the organization.
Yes. I love that. What'd you say?
R.
Yes. R, energy draining. Who here gets energy from being the mediator between employee issues? Oh my gosh, we need to hire you immediately.
Middle child, I just need everything now.
See, I feel pleased by what you're saying as a middle child, and I recognize you as a middle child. Yeah, like there's something really powerful about the energy that comes from being that HR person. Bob in his talk was talking about one of the most important things you need to scale as an HR person who can handle those relationships. By the way, quick bonus tip for you guys. Do you want to know who's at fault? The person that uses the terminology always, every time, never. The ones who's exaggerating is usually the guilty party. Well, Susie always says the fault. Oh, okay. Thank you, Mary. All right, so. Oh, I thought I was feeling something there. Okay.
I'll fire, if anybody's red is firing people, I'll do that for you.
He's a green energy firer.
You never know, 'cause I have run into a lot of people who have an aversion to that, and I always saw that as my
That's awesome. That's awesome. Hey, and this is a perfect example of who, not how. There are people who love to do the things that you hate, but we can't understand that. Today, we're not going to talk just about work, by the way. We're talking about, I want you to think about expanding this concept outside of work into everything in your life. What do you hate doing at home? Dishes. Dog food? Oh, dog poop. I was like, dog food? You make home dog food? Cooking. Raise your hand if you love cooking. Yeah. So like we all have different things that light us up or drain us. It's so weird that the things that would drain me would light another person up. But when we can start coming together in this like family under God kind of concept of siblings to help each other out, we can really make this happen. So let's get rid of these problems. You guys ready to get rid of these problems?
Do it.
Okay, let's do it. So the automation ladder is the key to this thing. I'm going to be taking some information. I rarely create anything original, by the way. Everything I am is a product of being trained by somebody else. And I don't remember all of this, but a guy named Dan Martell wrote a book called Buy Back Your Time. We're going to talk about this concept very briefly, but I want you to think what your time is worth in terms of dollars. That's how you're going to start thinking about every task you hate and whether or not you should let go of things. Here's another reason why we don't let go of things is because we're trained as kids that you'd be ungrateful, selfish, self-centered if you didn't be the handyman at your house. That was one of mine, even though I have zero capabilities as a handyman. Like, my wife will say, can we please pay someone else to do it? But like, I was like, no, I'm gonna fix it. I'm not paying another person to do it worse. And I was worse.
It's like my wife's father is incredible at everything. And if I can't do it, she'll be like, I'll call my dad. I'm like, no, you're not calling. I can do this, damn it.
Right. Whereas,
I feel so incompetent.
so I hate the way it feels, but like, I think the future me is gonna be like, sure, honey, let's get your dad to do this. So let's get into the automation ladder. Let's fix this thing. Everything that we do that is red or yellow. And why do we want to get rid of yellow? It doesn't drain us. Here's why. Anything we're doing that's not green isn't going to collapse time the way we want it to. Anything that we're doing that isn't green is a lost opportunity to do the thing we were born on this earth to do. You were born, every one of you, with special gifts and talents that deal with like what you like doing. That's what we want to pursue in life. It's what's gotten you through this crappy, difficult business for so long. But there is a way to do it in a way that's powerful. So the way we get rid of things is we eliminate, automate, delegate. We just stop doing crap because it's not working. What in your business or at home just isn't working and you keep doing it? Be honest with yourself. Think about all the things, okay? Automation. This is where you give it to tech or you find some way to automate it through systems. Raintree obviously had a lot of really cool things they promoted today. This is why you want to be in a Raintree. And I mean this, guys, I am not getting paid to say this at all. This is an honest statement. I've been in the industry for decades. I have heard everything about every EMR. I am a fan of Raintree, period. Period. They don't even know me. I'm just this guy. But I love what they do for lots of reasons. I was super pumped about that thing today. Brandon, do you want to say something? Anytime I think you might want to say something. Okay, delegate, we want to give to other people. And I will tell you, this is the who, not how concept. I promise you, there isn't a problem you can't give to another person. Really quick story, super quick story. My wife and I homeschooled our kids during the pandemic. And we were okay at it. And just our average, like we were not great. But we did so much better than our school system because of just the narrow nature that afterwards, when everyone was going back to school, we thought, let's keep homeschooling them. And I said, not it. And she went, not it, right before me. It was like, oh crap. So we decided, let's find a who, not how. This is after I had learned the concepts I'm teaching you guys today. So we sat down and we drew up the perfect teacher we would hire part-time to come teach our kids at our house because we couldn't afford private school. So we created, because we're leaders and leaders create, an avatar of a perfect person. And we thought, she'd be just like Mary Poppins. She'll have the loving kindness of Mary Poppins, the firm but sweet kind of mentality, right? Pull things out of her bag. And so we decided she needed to be a gifted and talented teacher, someone who's kind of like post-retirement, but like still wants to work a little bit. And then Mrs. Laura showed up. If the clearer we can be on the specific solve for our problem, the easier it is to find the who, not harder. It's easier to find people when we're really clear. And Miss Laura showed up and taught my kids for 3 years. And my kid, who's now in the 8th grade, when he was in the 5th grade, was doing high school algebra. Who, not how. Every solution has a person. So, okay, here's examples. Eliminate reports that no one reads. Appointment reminders. Sometimes we're just doing things in business because we think we're supposed to do them, but is it really moving the needle? Automate appointments through Raintree, Delegate, social media scheduling, insurance verifications. Whatever it is in your business. We're going to talk about home examples. Let's do this. Okay, we're going to do a small group, 3 people. I want you guys to pick one of your tasks from your other list, and I want you to spend 5 minutes, like 1.5. I'll give you guys a minute each to talk about your task and how you're going to get rid of it by eliminating it, automating it, or delegating it. Okay? So groups of 3, we don't have time. Quickly get together. On your marks, get set, go. The person with the shortest hair goes first.
And that was, dealing with
Oh, yeah. It's not enough time. What's that?
5,000 pictures.
I'm really sorry. And they're all like down up, so I'm like. All right, if you haven't switched, switch. Okay, last person go if you haven't gone yet. Oh, you guys are all done. I love that. Okay, we're just doing a minute left. Touchy? Oh, yeah. It's weird. At least it's not like spasming out. What, is it doing like one of these things, or? Oh, sure. Okay, guys. Go ahead and put a thumbtack in it. Let's circle back around. Oh, I love this. All right, guys, come on back. Join me. Join me at the front of the stage. Thank you. You guys, love the energy. I want to thank everyone for how you're showing up today. You guys made a choice to get into this or not. I can feel it from here. It's very easy for me. I'm standing here looking at you. You guys have really bought into this process. It may not have been enough time, but was anyone able to find a task that they've decided they're going to get rid of? Would they be willing to share that? Let's start with Bob. Surprises me. I thought Bob was the master of all these things.
No, it's the construction side of the project management, like when I buy buildings or getting ready for tenant improvement. I have
Yes.
a great maintenance team and a great general contractor, but I'm still the go-to person to get them together. So
Yeah.
having somebody who finds me the building, works with the architect.
Give him some applause, guys. Okay. We're going to do that differently, like we're really winning. Ready? Give him some applause. Look, as business owners, no one else gives a crap about us, so we got to care for each other. Okay. Payroll! Give him some love. What are you going to do? What are you going to do?
I mean, I just need to find the person that I trust to delegate to do the darn job. All it is data input.
Yeah.
Adding numbers, data input. It's just who in your company do you want to see what everybody makes?
How much time are you going to save by not doing that? How much time?
I will save 5 hours a week. No, a month.
Okay. 5 hours of his life. How much do you think you can pay for someone significantly less than what you deserve to make per hour? Okay, so with 5 hours of time for your month, I want you to think about the financial exchange. What about you, Bob? How much do you think of your time and would you save by having this person take that over?
My time is $5 an hour. We always break like this level of company for $20 an hour.
Yeah.
And I'm doing a $20 an hour, $50 task right now.
You have to think of it in those terms. Is this, first of all, what are you worth per hour? If it's below the hundreds, you're not evaluating yourself appropriately. It's what? Do you have a number for you, Bob?
Mine's $500 an hour.
How much do you think?
Leadership, I tell them, if it's not a $100 an hour task, you should not.
No one in this room is less than $300. as a leader. Now listen, if you're a leader within a company, understand that there's a discrepancy there, but that's not what we're saying. You just need to understand the impact of that, especially if you're in that position. Great, let's hear a couple more. Who has found a task that they're going to get rid of, that they've decided on right here?
I mean, I'm a brand new company, so delegating the therapy manual, or the manual, the policies and procedures.
You're going to have your manual created by somebody else.
Who knows what they're doing?
She's going to delegate the creation of her policies and procedures. I guarantee they're 10 million times better than we are at that stuff. And by the way, needle in my eye. Create a policy and procedure
You know
manual.
what's great about that too, and we talked about this Wednesday, is using AI to do so much of that. Using AI to create your legal documents that you're paying your attorneys every single time for.
Hallelujah.
So,
Yeah.
They're probably using the same.
oh, exactly. So,
I got charged $600 once because I called a friend of mine who was a lawyer for a document, and it took him 5 seconds to email. I had a little sit-down chat with that guy. By the way, here's a really cool AI hack if you're not already doing this. Every meeting you ever have, ever in person, online, take out a note taker. My team's laughing. Take out your note taker and record the meeting. Record these meetings. You could have been recording this whole thing and gone back and go, okay, based on what you know about me, what are the tasks you think I should eliminate, and how do I eliminate those? It'll change your life. Every meeting you ever have, then afterwards go, great, turn that into a policy and procedure, turn that into a task list, turn that into a website design. Stop having meetings and not recording them with a note taker. I will.
There are free tools out there, by the way. There are free note takers out there.
Is there a special app you recommend?
Oh my gosh, who here is not using a note taker authentically? There's no shame at all. Okay. Oh, I just want to hold you guys. In my arms. Guys, you guys. So there's Fathom. Fathom is a note taker. Read.ai is what I use. You kind of get used to whatever you end up using. Firefly is what I mean. No, Fathom I mean too, but Firefly is another one. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Just get one. Gemini. Do not have a meeting without it being recorded by AI, and then have one chat called my company name and dump all of the transcripts into that, and it learns everything it needs to know about you. And then have the courage to ask it one day, based on what you know about me, what are some of the blind spots in my life that I'm not paying attention to, and then get ready to have a nice big cry. Which is what literally happened to me. I'm like, how does it know me so well? Okay, delegation, guys, we have 6 minutes. Can we get through this? Okay, this is the how we're gonna get this off of our plate. Delegation mastery, guys. Like we talked about earlier, the biggest thing is control. If somebody else can do it 70% as good as you, give it to them. Their aggregate is worth it for your time. Let it go. Be frozen. Let it go. It's going to be okay. Let it go. Bob said in his discussion, they have to make mistakes if they're going to learn. What's the purpose of a leader? To build more leaders. Do we learn through mistakes? It's the only way we learn. It's not a way, it's the way. We have to let them fail. Delegation flywheel, select the right person, set clear outcomes. Don't fly by. Hey, like I did to Tony. Hey, Tony, you're in charge of the booth this time at Raintree. I've known her for a long time. She stepped up. Support with training tools. Step back, review, and improve. Be that loving coach. Don't be the micromanager. Be that loving coach to every human being in your life, even the Miss Laura's. And your time liberation plan. This is how you delegate. I'll send all this to you. If you want it, I'll give you guys everything on this. I got lots of freebies. I'm all about the freebies. I've got a worksheet that you can use that you can walk you through these things. I'll send you a copy of the worksheet so you can go through this. But here's what I want you to do. Schedule some time to be alone. Like a day. I know. I felt the adrenaline pumping the second I said that. But here's what I want you to understand is that when we take time and sharpen the knife, everything else gets done better. You've heard that story of the 2 men chopping trees, and one man kept disappearing in the forest for hours at a time and would come back and have more trees cut at the end of the day. And he's like, what are you doing? I'm sharpening my axe. You know this, but do you do it? So I'm asking you right now, if nothing else, to make a commitment to yourself that you are not going home from this trip without a day. I don't care if it's a month, 2 months, 6 months down the road, that you are going to block off and protect like everything matters about it, because everything matters. That you take this day off and you do this time liberation plan and you go for a walk in nature and you just do nothing but thank yourself for all the things that no one else is thanking you for doing. Because what you do makes a difference. You are the Connie Clemens in my life. And you know that. You guys are out there changing these people's lives, but if you don't sharpen your axe, you're going to dull the blade to the point where you'll end up like I've been a few times in my life, and you don't want to end up there. So there's a couple of really cool things I want to give you. 4 minutes, we're going to land this plane. There's a couple of things I want to give you. One is it's an email called a CTW. This was a transformative way to give other people responsibility that freed me up. So if there's a problem at work, we want to empower people to solve those problems for us. And this completed teamwork was a game changer for us. What happens is, let's use a physical therapy practice because that's what I'm familiar with. The director has a treadmill that's breaking. So what do? Hey, Will, the treadmill's breaking. We need a new treadmill. Great. Not when we empower our people. They would send me the CTW and I would train them on this. Hey, Will, hope you're doing well. Current situation is our treadmill's breaking. It's 10 years old. It's probably on its last leg. Here are 3 possible solutions that I have found that I think are worthwhile. Here's the solution I think is what's best. Do you approve it or not? Our time should be spent approving other people's great work. That's how we empower people, and that's what's funny. We also retain them. Perfect example, I was burning out coming into this season. We have 4 events that Virtual Rockstar is supporting in 2 weeks, and we're growing very rapidly. And I was not knowingly taking it all on again, because I like being the star of the show and I love attention, middle child. And I was burning out, and I finally turned to Tony and Kayla and said, can you guys just please take the booth over? And have you guys seen our booth? Like, that was that. Give them applause. Brandon, I always like to give credit. Brandon's like, you should do a thing about this. I'm going to do it right now. Brandon has his opinion matters to me at the highest level, period. He does not mix words. He came over and praised our booth, which is like the highest compliment. All 3 of us were like, us? And it's because of them. It would have not been half as good or as powerful without me finally relinquishing control. And guess what? Sometimes that 70% is really 100%. It's just not my 100%. So it's interesting.
Wasn't it funny when we finally asked?
Yeah.
I went like 8 years without asking my front desk and put it back. And the day I started, the problems stopped, right? And it took me asking.
Yeah.
Just like that. Yeah, and you really hit a nerve.
Yeah, I love that. Thank you, Jerry, for sharing. I really appreciate that. Delegation. Let's make sure we delegate cleanly. We don't want to do you know what the difference between dumping on someone and delegating? Clarity. So write it down. Here's the situation. Here's the resources you have access to. Here's what success looks like, right? And here's when it needs to be done. The single greatest mistake that we make in delegating is not giving a deadline, period. AI solves that. So what are we going to do with our note takers? We're going to ask it to start recording everything and then go, what are the upload this in there and go, can you please print out my email delegations? I'm going to copy and paste after this meeting. Think about the time and resources. These things compound like crazy. So 10 things practice leaders can delegate. Let's rock and roll, guys. Think about outside the box. Have somebody else clean your house. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Have somebody else clean your house. Meal prep, grocery shop, yard work, pool care, pet care, home maintenance, laundry, dry cleaning. There are so many apps that are out there to do these things for you. If you don't love doing them, what would life feel like if you didn't have to do laundry again? Like heaven? You're not going to live for another 100 years. Let's enjoy life. Let's make it worthwhile. And guess what? That extra time, you're going to have a brilliant idea that makes 10x the return on investment. Errand running, child transport, home admin. So every hour per week frees your busy life up by 6 days per year as you grow. So really see that. Every hour that you can free up matters. We are so loose with our time as leaders. I'll just do that. It takes a little extra work at the beginning, but it will free you up if you get in that mindset. Okay, you guys know this. What's your first thing? Who, not how. I feel obligated to go through slides. Oh, this is my executive assistant, Kim. I am not 8 feet tall. She is literally that short. My executive assistant changed my life and started the thing that I'm doing now. Give the gift of having somebody else take on the opportunity to serve you in your quest of making a difference for other people. It is my most favorite aspect of my journey has been developing this team of people who work through the night so that you don't have to do things that free you up and so that they can provide for their families. It is the greatest gift of my professional career to be able to do that with people. So please remember, if you learn nothing else from our little time here together, is that you matter. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Oh, small detail. With my free time, my wife and I support various organizations in Africa. We're going in November back. This was us last year with my 4 sons. That's the Skylanders kid right there. We were able to spend, someone said charity, and it was like, guys, yeah, let go of laundry so you can do more of this. This guy right here, Van, he's a piano savant, very sensitive kid. I haven't worked him hard enough. We were digging holes at the end of one of our days in Africa. A latrine, this was a latrine that we were building for this family. That's a coveted bathroom, by the way. And so all these children from around the neighborhood were just playing with us while we were working, and Van's digging in the hot Mozambique sun, and he's crying, and I'm like, great, Dad didn't work him hard enough. Let's go find out what thing he's complaining about. A horrible attitude, but I'm like, Van, seriously, man, like, what's up? He goes, I've never been happier in my life. I never want to leave. Experiences, guys. Let's cherish these moments. Let's give ourselves permission to get rid of these things so that we can go make a bigger difference in other people's lives. I have some freebies for you. Okay, so I'm not gonna bombard you with a bunch of stuff. I promise not to abuse it. If you guys, I'm gonna give you a free book from Alex Ramosi. I've been coaching with him lately. I've all those templates I'm gonna give you, free access. I started a comedy newsletter for PTO TSLP. There's no sale on it. We literally just want to make you laugh once a week. I have a podcast. I'll send you all these resources. We have an event. I don't want to talk about it. Well, because it starts to feel salesy. I don't care. So listen, just come over here and just text 1-866-WILLPOWER, text TherapyCon free stuff, and I'll give you everything. Everything. Just everything we talked about there. And if I don't get you everything, hound me. I'm not perfect. It means I'm missing a who in my life, and I'd love the accountability. Okay, guys. Yes? Please.
Yeah, go back to that. Be salesy.
Which was the greatest salesy thing I could have done, was just here it is, no it's not. But yeah, so I have a summit that I do every year. The great Brandon Siegel coached me in creating it. And so we had our first annual one last year. Bill's team was there, as well as some of you. And so what we do is we focus on 3 things: how to recruit, train, and retain your team. That's it. We're here in Arizona. It's in March. And what we do is we make it super fun. It's only 99 degrees. But I will say this, what's cool about it is we invite all the local universities to come, so you don't just learn how to do it. 50% of Arizona residents from the universities actually want to get hired out of state. And so we'll talk about how to interview, and then we bring in 100 students for you to interview and actually hire. Okay, guys, that's it. Appreciate you. Have a great rest of your day.